10 Richest Actors in Old Hollywood History. Golden Age Hollywood wasn't just about dazzling performances and red carpet glamour. It was a battle for fame, fortune, and financial dominance. Some stars weren't just icons on screen. They were masters of wealth, commanding record-breaking salaries, and making brilliant business moves long before celebrity branding was a thing. But who truly reigned as Hollywood's richest legends? You might be surprised by the stars who built empires behind the scenes. Stick around as we uncover the 10 wealthiest actors of old Hollywood and the secrets behind their fortunes. Greta Garbo. Greta Garbo was one of old Hollywood's wealthiest and most enigmatic figures. Born Greta Lovisa Gustafsson on September 18, 1905, in Stockholm, Sweden, she rose from humble beginnings to become one of the highest-paid actresses of her time. Unlike many stars who spent lavishly, Garbo was an astute businesswoman who carefully preserved and multiplied her fortune,
about a ghost,
leaving behind a multi-million-dollar
catch a
estate.
glimpse of.
Her career took off in the 1920s when director Moritz Stiller brought her to Hollywood under a contract with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM. Audiences were mesmerized by her striking beauty and enigmatic presence, making her a box office sensation in films like Flesh and the Devil, 1926, Grand Hotel, 1932, and Camille, 1936. At a time when most actresses earned modest salaries, Garbo commanded an astonishing $270,000 per film by 1928, equivalent to $4.7 million today. Over the course of her career, she earned more than $3 million, approximately $40 million today, cementing her place among Hollywood's financial elite. Garbo's ability to maintain her fortune was as remarkable as her acting career. Rather than succumbing to extravagant spending, she made shrewd investments in stocks, bonds, and federal securities, which grew to an estimated $10 million by the time of her death in 1990. She also had a passion for fine art and quietly amassed a valuable collection featuring works by Renoir, Pierre Bonnard, and Jawlensky. When auctioned after her passing, her art holdings alone fetched $19 million, significantly adding to her already impressive wealth. Despite her fortune, Garbo lived a life of solitude, famously retiring from Hollywood in 1941 at the age of 36. She never married or had children, and chose to live discreetly between her luxury New York apartment and homes in France and Switzerland. Unlike many of her contemporaries, she avoided public attention, often disguising herself in oversized sunglasses and modest clothing while taking solitary walks in Manhattan. Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin was not just a pioneer of cinema. He was a financial mastermind who turned his talent into an empire. Born Charles Spencer Chaplin on April 16, 1889 in London, he grew up in poverty before finding success in entertainment. By the time he became a Hollywood legend, he had amassed an enormous fortune, making him one of the richest actors of old Hollywood. Chaplin's rise to wealth began in 1913, when he joined Keystone Studios and introduced audiences to his now iconic character, the Tramp. His ability to combine slapstick comedy with deep storytelling made him a box office sensation. As his popularity soared, so did his earnings. In 1915, he signed a contract with S&A Studios that paid him $1,250 per week, an astronomical sum at the time. The following year, he negotiated an even bigger deal with Mutual Film Corporation, earning $670,000 per year, which translates to roughly $19 million today. By 1918, he was one of the highest-paid entertainers in the world. Chaplin didn't just rely on acting to build his fortune. In 1919, he co-founded United Artists with Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford, and D.W. Griffith, giving him full creative and financial control over his films. This move allowed him to retain ownership of his work, ensuring long-term profits. His most successful films, including The Kid, 1921, City Lights, 1931, and Modern Times, 1936, continued generating revenue long after their release. By the 1940s, his financial empire was worth tens of millions. Unlike many of his peers, Chaplin had an eye for financial strategy. He invested heavily in real estate and business ventures, securing properties in Switzerland and Beverly Hills. Even after being forced to leave the US in 1952, he remained wealthy, with his films continuing to earn millions. At the time of his death in 1977, Chaplin's estate was estimated at $100 million, equivalent to over $500 million today. Chaplin's legacy is not just in his films, but in his financial acumen. He was a rare actor who understood the power of owning his work and making strategic investments, making him one of Hollywood's wealthiest and most influential figures. Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford was not just a Hollywood actress. She was a self-made millionaire who carefully managed her career and finances to stay at the top. Born Lucille Fay LeSueur on March 23, 1904, in San Antonio, Texas, she overcame a difficult childhood to become one of Hollywood's most enduring and financially successful stars. With a career spanning over 5 decades, Crawford amassed a fortune that set her apart from many of her peers. Crawford's Hollywood breakthrough came in the 1920s, when she was signed by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM. She became a silent film sensation, known for her stunning looks and charismatic presence. As the film industry transitioned into the talkie era, she proved her versatility and remained one of MGM's biggest stars. By the 1930s, she was earning an impressive $500,000 per year, equivalent to $10 million today. At the height of her career, she commanded a salary of $7,000 per week and was one of Hollywood's highest-paid actresses. Her biggest financial success came with Mildred Pierce, 1945, a film that earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress and revitalized her career. This allowed her to negotiate better contracts with studios, particularly Warner Brothers, which offered her a lucrative 3-film deal worth $500,000 in the early 1940s. Unlike many stars who relied solely on acting salaries, Crawford understood the power of branding. She became one of the first actresses to endorse products, lending her name to cosmetics and fashion brands, significantly boosting her income. Beyond Hollywood, Crawford was an astute investor. She held real estate properties in Los Angeles, New York, and Manhattan, accumulating valuable assets that appreciated over time. She also had a keen interest in corporate investments and later became a director at PepsiCo, following her marriage to CEO Alfred Steele. This role further expanded her financial empire, ensuring that she remained wealthy long after her acting career declined. By the time of her death in 1977, Crawford's net worth was estimated at $2 million, equivalent to $10 million today. Her success wasn't just about talent. It was about smart financial decisions, business ventures, and a relentless drive for success, making her one of Hollywood's most financially independent actresses. Cary Grant. Cary Grant was more than just a dashing leading man. He was a Hollywood businessman who turned his career into a financial empire. Born Archibald Alec Leach on January 18, 1904 in Bristol, England, he arrived in the U.S. with almost nothing and transformed himself into one of the richest actors in Hollywood history. Unlike many stars who relied on studios, Grant controlled his career, allowing him to amass a fortune that few could match. Grant's rise to stardom began in the 1930s, when he starred in romantic comedies and thrillers, working alongside Hollywood's greatest actresses, including Katharine Hepburn, Ingrid Bergman, and Grace Kelly. His performances in Bringing Up Baby, 1938, North by Northwest, 1959, and Charade, 1963, solidified his status as a major box office draw. By the late 1940s, he was earning $300,000 per film, an astonishing figure that, when adjusted for inflation, amounts to nearly $4 million today. What set Grant apart from other actors was his business acumen. While most stars were locked into restrictive studio contracts, he broke away from the system and became one of the first truly independent actors. This allowed him to negotiate higher salaries, retain rights to his films, and even secure a percentage of the box office earnings. This was a groundbreaking move that greatly increased his long-term wealth. Grant also had a sharp eye for investments. He owned prime real estate in Beverly Hills, Malibu, and Palm Springs, turning his properties into highly profitable assets. In addition to real estate, he served on the board of directors for major companies, including MGM Grand and Faberge, ensuring a steady flow of income beyond acting. By the time he retired in 1966, Grant's net worth was estimated at $60 million, which, adjusted for inflation, would be over $130 million today. He was known for his financial discipline, avoiding excessive spending and managing his money with precision. Even after stepping away from Hollywood, his wealth continued to grow through investments, endorsements, and strategic business ventures. When he passed away in 1986, Grant left behind not just a legacy of classic films, but also an example of how to build and sustain immense wealth in Hollywood. His ability to take control of his earnings, invest wisely, and secure long-term financial independence made him one of the richest and smartest actors of all time. Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn was more than just a beloved actress. She was a cultural icon and financial success who carefully managed her career and wealth. Born Audrey Kathleen Rustin on May 4, 1929 in Belgium, she overcame war-torn Europe to become one of Hollywood's most sophisticated and highest-paid actresses. Despite her immense earnings, she lived modestly and prioritized her passion for philanthropy, making her one of Hollywood's most respected figures.
As they both figure out that they have found
skyrocketed with her Academy Award-winning performance in Roman Holiday, 1953, which instantly turned her into an A-list star. She followed up with hits like Sabrina, 1954, Breakfast at Tiffany's, 1961, and My Fair Lady, 1964, cementing her reputation as a box office sensation. By the 1960s, she was earning over $1 million per film, an extraordinary sum for the time, placing her among Hollywood's highest-paid actresses. Unlike many of her peers, Hepburn was extremely selective with her film roles. Instead of signing long-term contracts, she carefully chose quality over quantity, ensuring that every performance elevated her reputation. This allowed her to command massive salaries while keeping her career manageable. Her financial decisions extended beyond acting, as she also profited from endorsements, licensing deals, and royalties, ensuring a continuous income stream even after she stepped away from Hollywood. Hepburn was also financially savvy when it came to real estate. She owned multiple properties in Switzerland, the US, and Italy, where she lived a peaceful life away from Hollywood's chaos. Her estate in Tolkienaz, Switzerland, became her primary residence, a reflection of her preference for a quiet, luxurious, but non-extravagant lifestyle. By the time of her death in 1993, Hepburn's net worth was estimated at $55 million. However, her legacy extends beyond wealth. Her humanitarian work as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador made an immeasurable impact. Despite her Hollywood success, she remained humble, generous, and committed to giving back, proving that her greatest riches weren't just financial, but in her lasting influence on cinema and humanitarian efforts. Doris Day. Doris Day was one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, but her financial success extended far beyond the silver screen. Born Doris Marion Kappelhoff on April 3, 1922, in Cincinnati, Ohio, she built a career that spanned acting, music, and business, making her one of old Hollywood's wealthiest and most versatile figures. Day's rise to fame began in the 1940s as a big band singer, but her transition into Hollywood made her a superstar.
I was wondering why the government even bothered to send the army.
With hits like Calamity Jane, 1953, Pillow Talk, 1959, and The Man Who Knew Too Much, 1956, she became one of America's most beloved actresses. By the 1960s, she was consistently ranked as the top box office draw, commanding salaries of $500,000 per film, a remarkable figure for the time. Unlike many Hollywood stars who lost their fortunes due to mismanagement, Day was forced to rebuild hers after her husband and manager, Martin Melcher, misused her earnings. When he died in 1968, she discovered that she was in massive debt, despite her decades of success. Instead of giving up, she took control of her finances, successfully suing her former attorney and recovering $6 million, equivalent to $30 million today. To regain stability, she launched The Doris Day Show, 1968 to 1973, which became a financial lifeline. However, her true financial strength lay in real estate and hospitality. She owned several properties in California, including a 7-acre estate in Carmel, which later became an animal rescue sanctuary, a testament to her lifelong passion for animal welfare. Additionally, she invested in hotels and hospitality ventures, ensuring a continuous stream of income long after her Hollywood career ended. By the time of her passing in 2019, Doris Day's net worth was estimated at $200 million, an astounding sum that surpassed many of her contemporaries. Her financial empire was not just a result of acting, but a combination of resilience, smart investments, and business acumen. Unlike stars who spent extravagantly, Day channeled her wealth into philanthropy, particularly animal rights, ensuring that her legacy went far beyond Hollywood. Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy was one of Hollywood's most respected and highest-paid actors, known for his naturalistic acting style and ability to dominate the screen. Born April 5, 1900 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, he built a legendary career that spanned over 4 decades, securing both critical acclaim and financial success. Unlike many actors of his time, Tracy understood the value of his talent and negotiated contracts that ensured he remained one of Hollywood's most financially secure stars. Tracy's breakthrough came in the 1930s, when he signed with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM. The studio quickly recognized his talent and paid him handsomely for it. By the 1940s, he was earning $5,000 per week, a significant sum that allowed him to accumulate wealth rapidly. His status as a box office draw only grew, and he became the first actor to win back-to-back Academy Awards for Captain's Courageous, 1937, and Boys Town, 1938. These achievements made him a Hollywood powerhouse, allowing him to command salaries of $200,000 to $500,000 per film, equivalent to millions in today's dollars. Beyond his acting earnings, Tracy was also financially savvy when it came to investments. He purchased real estate in Beverly Hills and Palm Springs, securing valuable properties that appreciated over time. He also understood the importance of long-term financial planning, ensuring that his wealth remained intact despite his well-known struggles with alcoholism and personal turmoil. One of the most significant boosts to his financial success was his on-screen partnership with Katharine Hepburn. Their undeniable chemistry made them one of Hollywood's most bankable duos, appearing in 9 films together, including Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, 1967, which became a massive box office hit. By the time of his death in 1967, Tracy's net worth was estimated at $50 million, equivalent to over $400 million today. Unlike many actors who faced financial ruin later in life, Tracy's disciplined approach to wealth ensured that his fortune remained intact, leaving behind a legacy as both a Hollywood legend and a financially astute star. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was more than just a sex symbol. She was a Hollywood powerhouse who, despite personal struggles, built a fortune through her talent, brand, and business ventures. Born Norma Jean Mortensen on June 1, 1926, in Los Angeles, she transformed herself from a struggling model into one of the most recognizable and highest-paid actresses in the world. Monroe's career took off in the early 1950s, with films like Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, 1953, and Some Like It Hot, 1959. By the height of her fame, she was commanding $100,000 per film, an extraordinary sum for the time. However, Monroe's true financial strength came when she founded her own production company, Marilyn Monroe Productions, in 1954. This move, unheard of for actresses at the time, allowed her to negotiate higher salaries and retain more control over her films, setting a precedent for future Hollywood stars. Despite her extravagant spending habits, Monroe's earnings were substantial. Over the course of her career, she amassed approximately $3 million, which would be around $30 million today. However, she was also known for lavish generosity, frequently giving money and expensive gifts to friends, employees, and charities. Her luxurious Brentwood home in Los Angeles, custom-made designer wardrobe, and collection of fine jewelry were some of the ways she indulged in her wealth. When Monroe passed away in 1962 at just 36 years old, she left behind an estate worth $800,000, equivalent to $7 million today. However, after settling debts and legal fees, her liquid assets had dwindled to $370,000. Despite this, her financial legacy only grew after her death. Over the years, Monroe's image became one of the most profitable celebrity brands in history, generating hundreds of millions of dollars through licensing deals, film royalties, and product endorsements. Her estate, controlled largely by her acting coach Lee Strasberg, continued to earn millions annually. In 2011, Monroe's image rights were sold for $20 million, further proving that her financial influence extended far beyond her lifetime. Today, she remains one of the highest-earning deceased celebrities, a testament to her lasting marketability and Hollywood legacy. Marilyn Monroe may have lived a turbulent life, but she was far from financially naive. Her ability to command high salaries, take control of her career, and leave behind a multi-million-dollar estate ensured that she would be remembered as one of old Hollywood's richest and most enduring stars. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor was not just a cinematic legend. She was a financial powerhouse who turned her fame into an empire. Born February 27, 1932, in London, she became one of Hollywood's highest-paid actresses, accumulating wealth not just through films, but also through real estate, business ventures, and a revolutionary fragrance empire. By the time of her passing in 2011, she had built a fortune estimated between $600
3 days ahead of the actual
and $1
wedding.
billion, making her one of old Hollywood's richest stars. Taylor's rise to fame began as a child actress, but it was in the 1950s and 1960s that she solidified her box office dominance. With films like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, 1958, Cleopatra, 1963, and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, 1966, she became one of the first actors to demand million-dollar salaries. Her groundbreaking $1 million contract for Cleopatra was a Hollywood record at the time, and, when adjusted for inflation, amounts to over $10 million today. Unlike many actors who relied solely on their film careers, Taylor expanded her financial reach. She was a savvy real estate investor, purchasing prime properties in Los Angeles, London, and Puerto Vallarta long before they skyrocketed in value. Additionally, she amassed an extraordinary jewelry collection, featuring rare diamonds and gems worth over $150 million. Her greatest financial success, however, came from Elizabeth Taylor Fragrances, a brand she launched in 1987. The first perfume, Passion, was an instant hit, but it was white diamonds that became the most successful celebrity fragrance of all time, generating over $1.5 billion in revenue. This move paved the way for modern celebrity branding, proving that an actress could leverage her fame into an independent, thriving business empire. Beyond wealth, Taylor was also a philanthropist, raising over $270 million for AIDS research through her Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation. Even after her death, her estate continued generating millions through film royalties, licensing deals, and the continued success of her fragrance line. Elizabeth Taylor was not only an Oscar-winning actress, but also one of Hollywood's most financially intelligent figures, transforming her talent into a business empire that continues to thrive today. Katharine Hepburn. Katharine Hepburn was not just an acting legend. She was a fiercely independent woman who managed her wealth with precision. Born May 12, 1907, in Hartford, Connecticut, she defied Hollywood's traditional expectations and built a career that spanned over 60 years, earning multiple Academy Awards and a multi-million-dollar fortune. Unlike many of her peers, Hepburn rejected the studio system, choosing instead to prioritize creative control and long-term financial stability. Hepburn's rise to fame began in the 1930s, but she initially struggled with box office failures. However, her tenacity and talent led to a spectacular comeback with The Philadelphia Story, 1940, a film she personally secured the rights to, an early sign of her business acumen. She went on to star in classics like The African Queen, 1951, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, 1967, and On Golden Pond, 1981, ultimately earning 4 Academy Awards for Best Actress, a record still unbroken. At her peak, Hepburn commanded salaries of $200,000 to $500,000 per film, the equivalent of millions in today's dollars. However, she was known for her financial discipline, choosing to invest rather than spend lavishly. Instead of indulging in Hollywood's luxury lifestyle, Hepburn purchased and maintained a valuable waterfront estate in Connecticut, which remained her primary residence for decades. This property alone, spanning 7.17 acres, became one of her most valuable assets. Despite her wealth, Hepburn wasn't interested in material excess. She avoided designer clothing, flashy jewelry, and extravagant parties, preferring a simple, disciplined life. However, she ensured that her money was well managed, keeping her estate in carefully structured trusts that allowed for smooth financial transitions after her passing in 2003. At the time of her death, her estate was valued at $30 million, a testament to her careful financial management. She directed much of her fortune toward family members, close employees, and charitable causes, including the Actors Fund of America and the Motion Picture and Television Fund. Her Connecticut estate was later sold for $11 million, adding to her lasting financial legacy. Katharine Hepburn's refusal to conform to Hollywood norms extended beyond her personal life. It shaped her financial success as well. She was one of the few actresses who maintained both critical acclaim and financial security, proving that independence, intelligence, and discipline could lead to lasting wealth and legacy. Hollywood's golden age was filled with legendary actors who not only shaped cinema, but also built incredible fortunes through talent, business acumen, and strategic investments. From Greta Garbo's financial savvy to Elizabeth Taylor's billion-dollar empire, these stars proved that success in Hollywood wasn't just about fame, it was about smart financial decisions. Their legacies continue to inspire, showing that wealth and influence can extend far beyond the silver screen. Which of these old Hollywood stars do you find the most fascinating? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the richest actors of classic cinema, don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts with us. Your support helps us bring more captivating Hollywood stories your way. And if you haven't already, subscribe to All About Hollywood for more exclusive content on the stars who shaped entertainment history.